For just £5 a month, you can get early access to all of our podcast episodes, copies of our script, access to further information, and that is just the tip of the iceberg. Head over to patreon.com/Sunday Night Mystery. £5 a month. That's cheaper than 15 minutes of parking at Bristol Airport. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Welcome back to Sunday Night Mystery, where we unravel the intricate details of some of the most baffling cases in history. I'm Brett, and tonight, picture this. It's Wednesday, June the 28th of 1967. In the quiet neighbourhood of Easton in Bristol, that was reeling with the shock of a gruesome discovery. Join me as we visit the home of 74-year-old widow Louise Dunne on Britannia Road. It all began when a neighbour noticed a window slightly open at Mrs. Dunne's house, a detail so out of place that she decided to investigate. What she found was a scene from a nightmare. 74-year-old Louise Dunne had been raped and strangled to death in her own front room. The police quickly descended on the scene, launching an intense investigation. They began by questioning neighbours, hoping someone might hold the key to identifying the killer. But as news of the murder spread, a picture of Mrs. Dunne's life began to emerge, one that only deepened the mystery. Louise Jane Dunne had led a life that many might have envied. In her younger years, she attended some of Bristol's most important ceremonial events. Her first husband, Teddy Parker, was a city alderman, and she was on the path to becoming the city's Lady Mayoress. But fate had other plans. Teddy's untimely death left Louise a widow for the first time. She remarried, this time to John Dunn, a night watchman. But after his death, a few years before her own murder, Louise fell into a deep decline. Neighbours noted how she began neglecting herself, a shadow of the vibrant lady she used to be. It was this withdrawn existence that made the sight of an open window so alarming. Louise was known to be vigilant about keeping her home secure. Behind the unwashed floral curtains, Louise Dunne was found in her black velvet coat and shawl, with the unmistakable marks of strangulation on her throat. The brutality of the crime stunned the community. Detectives pieced together her last known movements. The night before the discovery, Louise had visited one of her closest friends, 79-year-old Alice Clark, at her home in Bloy Street. Alice Clark confirmed during her interview that Louise had arrived about 5:15 p.m. and left around 7:30. Alice told police they'd enjoyed custard and stewed gooseberry. When she left, Louise said, "Good night, God bless. I don't know when I'll be seeing you again." But little did Alice realise, those words would be the last words she'd ever hear from her friend. In the days following the discovery, the horror of what had happened to Louise became clear. Not only had she been strangled, but she'd also been sexually assaulted. Police believe the killer had broken in between 11:30 p.m. and 4 a.m. There were no signs of a struggle, and although Louise lived in a modest state pension, her handbag had been rifled. Detectives speculated that the murderer might have been looking for money. Witnesses came forward with varying degrees of helpful information. Louise had been seen standing on her doorstep at 10:30 p.m, which was an unusual sight. As police canvassed the area, they distributed questionnaires to neighbours, asking for the names of visitors to Louise's home. They focused on taxi drivers, hoping one might recall something useful from that night. Detectives said they needed to talk to anyone who might have seen or heard anything unusual that night. Their efforts included rounding up local vagrants and bringing them in for questioning. It was a desperate but necessary move. A critical lead emerged when a woman reported seeing a man around 200 yards from Louise's home at about 2:10 on the morning of the murder. The man was described as being around 35 years old, of medium build with short hair and big hands, wearing a dark brown suede-ette coat and dark trousers. But perhaps the most crucial clue was a palm print left near the window. The police took thousands of prints from local men aged between 16 and 60, hoping to find a match. The community cooperated fully, but the process was painstakingly slow. Detective Chief Inspector Frederick Cross explained they were getting 100% cooperation from the public for the difficult job. Despite the thorough investigation, the exhaustive collection of evidence, no match was ever found. By mid-July, police seemed hopeful when a man was brought in for questioning and his clothing sent for forensic analysis. But this too led to a dead end. The case of Louise Dunne remains unsolved, her killer never caught. Over the years, theories have emerged and suspects considered, but the truth has eluded detectives. As we reflect on this tragic story, we remember Louise Jane Dunne, a woman whose life was cut short by an act of unimaginable violence. Her case is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the dark mysteries that can lie beneath the surface of even the most seemingly quiet communities. If you have any information about tonight's or any of the cases that we feature, please contact your local authorities. Stay safe, and until next time, keep questioning, keep searching, and keep unraveling the mysteries of our world. Because time, like a merciless predator, marches on, leaving behind shattered dreams and broken promises. Yet, amidst those shadows of despair, glimmers of hope remain. Join us next time as we delve into another chilling mystery that continues to confound investigators and haunt communities. Until then, stay vigilant and never forget those who've been lost to the shadows. Until next week, stay safe. Remember, the truth may be hidden, but as long as we keep the investigation alive, it's never truly lost. I'm Brett, and I'll see you next time on Sunday Night Mystery. But for now, stay curious, stay vigilant, and be sure to guard yourself against the darkness that surrounds us all. I'll see you next week on Sunday Night Mystery.